right, mate. Yeah, let's have a look here at the market. Any insight from the 9-week candle? Well, the insight is pretty bearish. We didn't even get to bounce up to take any liquidity above. Now, that's not usually a good sign. I mean, example here, you know, when you can't even come up to take liquidity, even though this is actually already taken liquidity here, so this candle is not so important. But here, for example, you didn't even get a bounce up and you just flip red, stayed red the entire 9-week. That is the worry. That's the worry for the bulls. Of course, it's nice to get some cheaper prices on some coins. I'm still holding some bags of coins. I would have liked more upside to offload some more, of course, but the market doesn't always give you what you want. But at this point, the worry would be that the 9-week is going to stay red, right? That's obviously the worst case scenario. Kind of like this, you flip red here and it stays red. But that was a break of structure here. We were breaking structure, and that's why it was so big and so powerful. This is not breaking any structure whatsoever on a 9-week structure. This is just a retrace candle, or retrace candles can lead to more downside. A worst case scenario here would be something, kind of like this. You get a failure here to move higher, a continuation, and then later, it is not working. Yeah, so that's better. And then, something like that is obviously the worst case scenario where it completely rolls over. But at this point, obviously, we don't know if that's going to happen. I don't mean to sound too bearish here. I'm not. It's way too early to be talking about that. But I'm just saying sometimes in a very bad situation, that could happen. Trying to look for examples here. Well, I mean, here it's just kind of there. That's a good example, actually. See the way you get the big green candle, and then here you get the red candle, a small bodied candle, right? But then it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, right? That's obviously the worst case scenario. That's the that's the nightmare scenario for any bulls, because it never gave the out. It didn't even come up into take liquidity above, and it just kind of rolled over. But at this point, that is too early to be talking about that. But it's always good to have it in mind. Anything can happen in the markets. Now, the entire market last month, we had a bearish candle. Well, not a bearish. This doesn't have to be bearish. This can be bullish. Sorry, but an indecision candle is what I should have said. A lot of candles did have more of a red candle. We've got Litecoin here. What did Litecoin do on a monthly? Yeah, see, Litecoin had this red candle here. That was a worry. That was always going to be a worry, even coming in. I did, and I hoped that, I hoped this had finished stronger, actually, but it got more of a sell-off on a 9-week, and I had hoped that this could open up and have another third green candle to the upside. A lot of times you can do that, but obviously the market wasn't strong enough. So any insights here into the 9-week? Well, we have to be bearish here on the 9-week until it flips green. If this flips green again from here, it's very bullish. It's a very good sign if we can actually flip green again. So can the market find some strength? Well, on the monthly, at this point, it's suggesting we're not going to do that. There is 22 days left, but this monthly is most likely not going to flip green, right? Look at this situation here. You get the doji here, you get the next red candle down, and it's the next month that you get a bounce back up and continuation, right? So the likelihood is that this month is red, right? Can we get next month red as well? It's very possible. Here we got a reversal and we bounced back up. Obviously that was moving into a bull market. We have a very different situation in the market right now. Of course, with interest rates and QE, quantitative tightening and stuff, it's a different scenario from here to here. So we can't just assume that this is going to flip around and moon after having a red candle and a rejection top here. We need to be prepared that this might roll over more. And it's a warning that you need to be safe. You need to do your best to protect your money until we get a reversal in the markets. Unless, of course, we're going to look for some shorts. Now, to be fair, Litecoin did actually give a fantastic short signal, right? We give this red doji, we bounced up, took liquidity in the doji, and let me zoom in for this actually. It was flawless, right? It was absolutely flawless, right? Look at that. We just pierced above right here, pierced above right there. And as soon as you were below that again, now I didn't notice it in the moment, but as soon as we were below, that was a stop hunt of this previous candle. Now a lot of people don't know about those stop hunts, that you can stop hunt a previous candle way back here, but they work very, very well at times. They are a market gauge for a top, and they allow low risk entries because you're taking liquidity in this one, but you're also you have a pivot back here to work with, and it's kind of a double whammy, a double, the more confluence, the better chance of a trade working out. And there was two beautiful confluencing factors right there, and it's unfortunate, obviously, we didn't see that. Now, where was that? Yes, you can see it here. So it was that one strong day right here, one strong day, and then the next day, remember that day we bounced really hard in the overall market, and the next day it just negated everything. That was the reversal sign. That's a failed move higher and a fast move in the opposite direction, right? We were supposed to be bullish there. That was supposed to break up, but it was a failure. It was a failed move, and this flip obviously negated it, and the market has been tanking ever since. And that's what you get. It's a failed move. Is a fast move in the opposite direction. And just looking at this chart, it's not as easy to see it. But if you did notice it and pick it up on the monthly, and unfortunately at the time we didn't, but that was a fantastic signal. And the thing was, it was kind of caught off slightly off guard, because the entire market had this huge bullish day, and normally, like mostly when you get a huge bullish day, you don't just tank lower, right? It's very unusual to just tank off that. But that's what a failed move does, and it was just a complete failure. So that I think that was a slight catching off guard. Even if you pull back here, there possibly was still a good chance that this would pop up and form a green candle here, right? But once that candle did not form green, well, that was confirmation that was a failed move. But the thing is, the move then is so big to the downside that it's so fast and furious, and at that point, the market has dropped quite considerably. So at this point, obviously we're red on a 9 week, as you can see here, and we're getting that pullback. Where is that going to lead us to? Well, unsure exactly how deep it can go. It could keep going, right? You get a reversal like this sometimes in a bear market. Of course, it could keep going. We need to be on guard. We need to be reactive. We need to be watching the market. You can see here the red on the 2 week, red on the monthly. Litecoin is down 2.54% today, 2.5%. Bitcoin is down 4.5%. Bitcoin is weaker than Litecoin at this point. Now, I'm gauging Litecoin there because if Litecoin starts to hold up better and starts to bounce and stuff, the altcoins usually bounce with it. Obviously, Bitcoin is the daddy, though. Litecoin will follow Bitcoin, of course, and altcoins will follow Bitcoin as well. Don't get me wrong. So where are we at here now? 9 week, yeah. So you can see there, 9 week. Can we flip green again on this candle? Well, let's look at the past 9 weeks to see. Has it been possible? Am I on the? Yeah, I'm on the index. I'm on the time. Yeah. In strong bull trends, right? You can see right here. You can get, obviously the market's strong, but you can get really bad candles right back down and still recover. And you see here again. So is it possible? Of course it's possible. You see here as well. You come right down, form this red candle, and then you do break up eventually. This is kind of similar to what we're forming now. Only similar in the two candles. I don't mean similar in the entire structure, but let's go back here. You can see here, obviously, you get a big move like that. Bitcoin moved. Move there, 62%. Not massive actually, but is it warranted to get a pullback after 62%? Yeah, I suppose it is. At this point, you kind of have to think that the market needs a new 3-month candle. That is in 22 days' time. Now, that is for a chance for the bulls to get back in control. The bears are firmly in control now for a number of reasons. We stop hunted right? If you remember, we talked about it the day it happened in the group. We stop hunted right here, and that was a bearish sign. And we said in the group, Bitcoin is bearish below that line. If we need to get above that line to see continuation in the market and to move up. Obviously, we didn't get that. Now, if I go in here and just type in gold here, it is not the same, but one's a yearly chart and one's the 3-month chart. But if you look at these two candles, these two bottoming candles, I just want to point this out again. Now, I've made this comparison, I've made this fractal many times. I think I actually have it here as well, somewhere here. Yeah, here. So it's in the MartyBoots Bitcoin channel. It's one of my last posts on there actually. But you can see that you do get a big move up here, and it sells right off. You get a this is a failed move lower because price was red, it closed right down, but we burst back up, created a bullish engulfing candle. But what happened is you were very strong. You stop hunted the previous high. If I move that up there, you can see that candle here was a bearish. It's kind of a bear. It's not a bearish stop hunt because you're technically still forming a bullish candle. Sorry, my internet's acting up there. But you can see what happened here. It's sold right off, and it's saying Bitcoin could sell off more. But on a new 3-month candle is when the bulls came back and kind of fought back, right? You can see right here, and they're very similar sell-offs. You can see the big red candle down, the big red candle down, the small inside candle, the doji inside candle. Then you get the red candle down, right? And the red candle down is a breakdown. That is a breakdown, and this is also a breakdown right here. Now, what happened was this was a failure. Price negated it by pushing up and forming a bullish engulfing candle that then allowed price to go higher. Now, Bitcoin is doing the exact same thing, and we are selling off exactly like gold sold off, right? So, we obviously don't know until a new 3-month candle. A new 3-month candle is likely at this point what is going to be very important in the market. I'm not saying that this fractal is definitely going to play out like gold. We don't know if it will or not, but I'm just comparing the two fractals. If we flip green on a new 3-month candle, just like gold did, well, we do need to have a bullish bias. Again, if the new candle flips red, if that flip red there, we need to do that. If it flips red, we need to have a bearish bias on the new month. We all know what the stock market's like. We all know what interest rates and everything else, what the economy knows like. So we obviously need to be very careful. But at this point, the fractal to the gold is still in play. Time will tell if it will play out or not. And granted, I don't expect Bitcoin to be hitting all-time highs. Well, how many candles is that actually? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's 5. Well, it would be next year you'd hit all-time highs actually. So anyway, I seen Twitter people saying that they think Bitcoin can still hit all-time highs this year, and that's not happening. That's just not happening. At this point, this is a very poor red candle. I mean, we've been saying it all week that it's the new 9-week flip red, but we already had a red monthly candle, and we already had a red 2-week candle when we got a new 9-week candle. So that new 9-week candle didn't get that push, maybe because we were already red, the bears were already in control, and obviously we're continuing to drop. This is pretty bearish. This implies we should drop more. Okay, so we got to keep an eye on it, especially into a new 2-week. There's 3 days left, and then a new 2-week candle. We can look for some sort of reversal if the market gives it to us, of course. I'm not a big fan of these topping. You move up, you form a base, and the base breaks down. I'm not the biggest fan of those. So we definitely need to see where the market's going. Like here, look at this. That's the same. You move up, you get a big base, and then you eventually break down. So the bulls, need some patience here, and at this point it looks like we need to possibly wait until a new 3-month candle before the bulls will gain real control on the market. At this point, the 3-month candle on most coins have formed quite a large wick. and a bit of sell-off. So, you know, you have to respect that.